Oh man, the video didn't play. Ah, come on.
WF representing Palace, so let's tell you about Palace. Rolling straight to the ceiling, crowns and crystals, top like journeys, dishing out malice. Hold up, South London's grandest, far from bandits. Anything earned for a goal of elevation, just passing the team over here might finish that bright future we can't vanish. SE25 any day, that's sellers. Rev up the engines, no more reverse reactions, fan cams, bands on stream. Share up the team, support the dream team when Eagles fly, make noise and scheme. Dare to dream or dream to dare, taking a step to become supreme.
Good evening, big up everyone. Hope you're well. I'm lagging again. What's happened right before I start? Oh, let me give it a second. Right, let's try now. No, that's not. And I've actually plugged in the Ethernet. Oh, that's better. Anyway, good evening. Welcome to the Chelsea match reaction. Yes, I'm back in the UK and the weather is crap. Fantastic. Take me back to Ghana, please. Take me back. Take me back. But I'll big up to JC, Dan, and the rest for obviously holding the fort. You know, it wasn't until like I was out there I realized, oh snap, there's a lot of content to get through considering it's Bournemouth, Southampton, Chelsea within like a week. It was quite a bit. I was like, oh, these are putting in work. So I did my best to try and jump on stream and bring up Megatron settings. Anyway, we're here to discuss 1-1 draw against Chelsea, and I think it's a very good point. Granted, we rolled our luck. My goodness me, if Chelsea could finish, we would have been. They would have been outside first off. Then JT first and foremost. I did.
I've got a splitting headache, so if I don't speak much, you know why. But I'm okay. Good point.
And then,
yeah, I'm all good. I don't feel too great today either, to be honest, JC. For some reason, I feel mad tired, and I really don't know why. Crazy.
The only thing that changed yesterday for both of you is meeting a certain UK Pat. Has he given you some sort of illness or something? What's going on?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I've been around ill people recently, so it could very well be that, to be honest. So could very well be that. It's that season, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Cold, isn't it?
How are you, Rich? Are you glad to be back?
Huh?
Glad to be back?
Huh? I literally, the plane landed, I looked outside, I was like, what on earth is this? So yeah, I expect tomorrow I'm gonna get a cold. Because that temperature shift is crazy from 30 degrees to like 1.
Minus tomorrow.
Ah, fantastic.
You have to scrape the car on your first day back.
Lovely jubbly. Now let's get into it. I guess there was obviously no real surprises with the lineup. Obviously Chalobah couldn't play due to being a loanee. But we were really bad, especially that first half an hour. We were really, really bad. I listened to all the fan cams. I thought it was spot on. We started off very passive, very, very passive. Then we decided, oh no, we're going to try and press. I didn't press well. So each and every time Chelsea were just bypassing the midfield and just like similar to how they scored their goal against us at Stamford Bridge, just running at us, with lots and lots of pace. JC, don't say too much. I forgot your spin headache. Was you surprised at our approach to start off with?
I think bearing in mind literally a few weeks ago against Arsenal in the cup and in the league, Glasgow said we gave them too much respect. I feel like we gave Chelsea way too much respect in the first half as well. So no changes there really. But I would say that the game was managed quite well because Chelsea wanted us to press, and you could tell that because the second we started pressing, they were just picking their way through our team really easily. And even though that our team was very passive and it was very annoying, you could tell that the fans weren't really on side with us being as passive as we was. It made it a lot harder for Chelsea to actually find their way through our team. The only way they actually found their way through was us leaving spaces in behind by clever movement from players. I wouldn't say it's clever tactically from what Maresca's done. I think it's literally just like individual brilliance of Cole Palmer and Jadon Sancho to make the space. Because, like, for example, how they set up their goal, you know, if Sancho doesn't do a dummy, there's no space there. He's going to kick up and pass back again. So the only way he's really getting that space in behind is by, showing his class and his quality. So to be fair, I don't think Glasner got it wrong. I think Glasner did everything perfectly in this game. So I wish we were a little bit more aggressive, but if in the grand scheme of things, draw, I can't really fault anything that he's done because it's an amazing point for us. And looking at it, the bigger picture, if Chelsea could shoot straight, we wouldn't be sitting here in a good mood.
Absolutely. Before we actually discuss a bit of Chelsea, I mean, OTC might join us. I see Hannah's in the chat as well, so maybe drop the link.
OTC's in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hello, mate.
Yo, guys, what are you saying?
We'll come to you in a minute about your finishing, by the way. Pause, just in case. Chris Richards, Dan. No.
What? Oh no, I'm not falling for that one. I am not falling for that.
Which one?
What's up, dog?
Not much. How's it going?
So, Chris Richards, we've always known that he's not good as a right centre back, and I believe it was you that mentioned it in tactic as to whether or not Line should play there, or someone might have put a tweet up. Do you think Klein would have done any? To be fair, minus that he had a dodgy first half, Richards, but he did grow into the game as the game went on.
I think it was a bit of a weird game for him. I think. I mean, I think it goes without. Very good. I appreciate those kind of jokes. I don't know. I thought he had a bit of a weird game because in terms of what he offered going forwards, it was what I was expecting. Like, he didn't offer a lot going forwards. In terms of defending, it was weird. When he got high up, when you got caught high up the pitch, he got rinsed. But I thought, like, when he was actually in the box, more in like a lower sort of, when he was defending, more like towards our goal, I actually thought he was quite good because I remember he did a couple really good tackles, I think, like in and around the box. To be fair to him as well, I actually don't think it was his fault for the goal. I know he got skimmed by Sancho, but he still had him and Munoz still had a 2v1 in that corner. Sancho wasn't really going anywhere. And I know he got the ball in, but I still think Lacroix should have been on Palmer there, in my opinion. And I don't think he would have had to done something a lot better to get a goal there. But should Richards start? No, absolutely not. Is he okay as a backup? Yeah, he's okay as a backup when we need him to be.
You know what? That segued quite nicely to what I was going to show you. Look, and here's where I'm going to disagree with you, Dan. That's how it's set up right when Cole made that pass to Sancho. Now, this is kind of where we've gone for that somewhat press because it got passed back to Achimpong, who I must say, I don't know much about him OTC, but he looked decent. He looked tidy. So obviously you can mention that. Actually was passed over to Colwell, and it's kind of done like a half press in a sense. The ball gets played into Sancho. My goodness me, Munoz is already up here, which is another problem, by the way. Bear in mind, we don't have the ball. I think he's a bit too high up. The ball gets played in, and yeah, you know what? That dummy was mad. Richards was struggling, and what then happens is obviously Sancho is now here. I can get rid of this slide now. With the ball, and Richards, his recovery pace is so bad. It's really bad. I don't know why, but he really, really does struggle. Here's where I disagree with what you said about him not being his fault. So let me move this screen across.
I think obviously if he doesn't get sold for a hot dog, then obviously that obviously I'd rather that not happen. But when it comes to the box, I don't think that was necessarily his fault there, if that makes sense.
I disagree though. Here's why. He managed to get Sancho here. And he's got Munoz as covering as a runner as well. And now granted, obviously, Lacroix's here, Palmer's here. Jackson and both Neto and Mitchell have joined the box as well. And you've got Mark was here. And you know what as well, which I didn't realise, Enzo also making a run, which puts a big question mark on our two centre midfielders who were here. And I think Ebbs was up here. Here's where Richards went wrong, because he actually slowed Sancho down. And Sancho he just skimmed past him again, like so quick. And that then allowed Sancho to play the outside of the foot pass with his right foot into Palmer. Granted, yes, I think Lacroix could have come across quicker, but like I said, the fact that Enzo had made another run as well, I mean, to be fair, Lacroix should be looking at the biggest threat. You got to look at Lerma and Decore, who I don't think got back quick enough either. Because that's literally how we shaped up before Palmer got the ball. It shouldn't be 4v3.
I mean,
should not be 4v3.
The thing is, Lacroix was actually following Palmer, and then the second that Sancho got past Richards again, Lacroix darted to the near post. So he then vacated the space for Palmer to be free. So that's why I would agree with what Dan's saying. Well, I think it's more of Richards. I mean, not more of Richards, more of Lacroix. Purely because if Lacroix doesn't leave him, I don't think Palmer has enough time on the ball to set himself and put the ball in. The ball probably would still get to Palmer, but he'd have to then get past Lacroix, and I don't think that would have happened in that confined space. So even though he did beat Richards twice, Munoz was too high up the pitch to actually get back. I wouldn't actually. I would say it's more of Lacroix, but I think Dan said it to me when we were doing fan cams. He feels like that's something that Glasner's maybe told him to do, where someone gets down a line, mark off that near post, because that's what he did. He ran straight towards the near post, and maybe that was the idea. Maybe preempt him going all the way to the byline instead of taking one touch and then crossing it in straight away. So I get why it was done, but it's just a wrong call on his part. And to be fair, I can't really blame Lacroix for doing it either, because he's been outstanding for the whole season for us. So one misplay, and to be fair, we still got back into the game later on, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, I'll ask you to take us through some comments because JC's not. Well,
big up, dog. As a scout of Malik Diouf, you know what, dog? I'm going to give you full credit. I assume that you've got Dougie's WhatsApp and you sent it to him. No, it was a good shout from you, mate. Big up, Mikey. Thanks for tuning in. Big up, Coach's Corner. Thank you for tuning in. Big up, Tim. And welcome back, Rich. Simon, you had better internet in Ghana. We should have won yesterday. Come on the Palace, Simon, Dublin. Big up, Simon. Thank you for tuning in, mate, as well. First 60 minutes was great. Last 30, we got done. I'm sure we'll talk about this later, but I've got a sneaky feeling that this is quite a common pattern for Chelsea at the moment. Munoz and Sarr so good down that right side. Yeah, I totally agree. I think
So much better than the left side.
Yeah, I gave Munoz my man of the match. So, and Sarr weren't far behind him. Messi good in the first half. Streets are set. Oh, I'm not saying it again. I see you getting some love from the dog.
Oh yeah.
Luke is saying, in my opinion, Mitchell is good in the games versus top 6 teams, and if we get someone like Diouf and play him against sides that are not that great, and have him and Munoz, we could score a lot of goals. Yeah, I think as well. It's not just necessarily about having an attacking left wing back, just to have that. It also just balances us so much better as well. I think it would also improve our right side too. Apparently, there's a spider behind you, OTC. I don't know.
I'm not scared of spiders.
I am.
Are you?
Easy Richards was decent yesterday. Got caught out for the first goal. But good. Yeah, that's the thing. I think when it was high up the pitch, I think he did get caught out. Like, yeah, Sancho. I think the chairman said he abused him in that first half. But yeah, I mean, as a backup, I like.
To be fair, Richards made an amazing challenge on Jackson.
That's what I mean.
First half, didn't they?
That's what I mean. Like in and around the box when we was in a low block, I thought he did a lot right, but it's just when he got caught up the pitch and said like he's not the quickest guy in the world. Big up Pat, thanks for coming down yesterday, mate. It was good to meet you. And big up and JC, apparently you're going to need to bring a stool to Stockport to interview Pat this time.
Don't worry, the step is still there, so the step might return.
Big up Mike, thanks for tuning in. 2 years of being subscribed. Oh, thank you very much, mate. We appreciate that massively. And here's to another year. Evening Earth, hope you're all good. Evening Animal, thanks for tuning in as always. Gay was the best of the three. Mateta man the match for me. Okay. I do think Mateta was very good. We didn't give Gay a very good score yesterday, actually, on our player ratings.
That was James.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. To be fair, yeah, I thought they're all decent. I deleted his number after we signed Nketiah. Yeah, I respect that. With Ebbs, many judge him against the player they know he can be. I judge him against his previous performance. So are you saying do you think he played well then, Animal, or do you not think he played well?
He wasn't better in the Southampton game.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not.
Just there was a point in time where when he got the ball, he was on a counter attack, and I shouted, "Henderson's open," and he actually passed back even though he was on a counter attack. Yeah, he's got no confidence.
Yeah.
And to be fair, that can't be an excuse for as long as it has been. We've been using this excuse for 19 games now. It's not good enough.
Damn.
Shout out, Mike.
And thank you for the 2 years as well, Mike. I appreciate it.
For 2 years, mate. You got any socials? Let us know. You get a shout out.
No, Dan read his name out.
I'm confused. Oh. You know what? Okay, right. I've been got there. Fair enough.
Rich, did you not get it?
Fair play.
I didn't even hear what was said.
He basically read out his name.
No.
Hang on.
Grow up.
Hey, you know what?
That's a bad comment, but that's a bad name, but I don't know what
That's
it means.
that went right. Pun intended. That went over my head.
Yeah, that went over mine as well.
Quality.
I genuinely would never have.
Right.
JC
Fair
didn't say
play.
that. I genuinely would have carried on.
No,
Fair play, mate. That's quality.
I knew it.
OTC, welcome.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome. Let's address the elephant in the room. One shot on target. What happened?
Well, it was one shot on target, but most of our close shots went wide because of Nicholas Jackson. Our finishing was atrocious. We shot ourselves in the foot. We should have won this game comfortably. It should have been about 2-3-0 up at half time. Josh Akopov had a chance where he headed it past the post. That's not good enough because from that angle, he should at least, at the bare minimum, get it on target. There was nobody around him. The ball was coming in from that angle. He just had to head it literally forward, and it would have been a goal. And he didn't have to jump. He didn't have to barge anybody. He literally just had to head right forward. It would have been back of the net. He didn't do that. Well, he did it when he went past the post. Jackson, outside of the bit where he skinned Lacroix.
Why did he not go with his left foot?
He's got no left foot.
He ain't got a left foot.
No, but
He ain't got a consistent left foot. Let's put it that way. Because every now and then he might just have a light banger from that left foot side. But he's very fast for where we need to go to. He's not good enough to be up front.
Let's answer that question. Look, he's done Lacroix, like he done him back. But to do an outside of the boot shot when you're already in the middle of the goal, it's only going to start off wide and veer out. Like, I think if he tries to roll it in with his left foot, I think he scores. He's got most of the goal to aim at. It was so weird. I mean, I was happy, obviously, but I was thinking, I was like, damn, this is 2-0.
Yeah, Jackson's a weird character because he scores these tough chances, right? And then he misses, or his decision making up front in terms of sometimes his shot selection, his timing. It's all over the place. He's not a naturally instinctive striker. He's more like a winger that's converted up front. That's basically like 90% of the way there, but basically needs some assistance to have that instinct in place. Most strikers in that position would have just shot with their left foot or would have touched back in with their right foot and then hit it across goal. But yeah, he's ultimately he had 2 easy chances to score a goal and he missed. And ultimately, most games this season have teams conceded goals, and for us to win games, we have to score at the bare minimum 2 goals. And so we can't just sit there on 1-0 expecting us to be rocks at the back. At this point, we need to score 2-3 in order to win a game. And against Palace, we should have won this game quite easily. And I don't know what we need to do in terms of the current players in training them to shoot on target better. But as far as I'm concerned, we need a striker. Well, we need a starting instinctive striker because a lot of our players are geared up or are kind of structured in such a way that we need just somebody to hit in. We need like a Haaland, basically, at this point. We've got the creators all in around. We just need somebody to finish off our chances. Whereas Jackson, he's doing his own thing at this point. So, yeah, I don't know why he done it from outside the boot. But ultimately, the first goal was a good goal, created by Jadon Sancho. Ultimately, Palmer had a lot of space because I watched the goal back a couple of times. Palmer had just the space in the world just to do what he wanted because look, by the time Sancho released that pass, there was about 3 plays on Sancho, and Palmer just had about 2 yards all around him to take any shot he wanted. So we were fortunate in that department. We missed so many chances. A lot of Chelsea fans are complaining about the substitutions. This game, I'm not blaming Maresca. I'm sorry. I'm very reluctant to blame Maresca when somebody like a Jackson misses that many chances, and with the defense that we have and the goalkeeper that we've got. This ain't like JT and Carvalho and Petr Cech in goal. I could be a bit more forgiving. Well, our defenders are well, some of our defenders and our goalkeeper is not good enough for this level. So ultimately, Maresca.
I was gonna mention your goalkeeper because I think he's the reason why in that first half, after the 30-minute mark, we started to get a foothold. He was rushing his throws, he was rushing his kicks, and it's like, oh, he's giving us back the ball here.
He was deliberately. One time he picked up the ball, he ran and he threw it to a Palace player. He literally threw it.
I remember I genuinely believe
he threw it to Decore, didn't he?
That is the only time I've ever seen a goalkeeper throw it to an opposition player.
He's up against. He's playing against us at this point.
But those two players as well, like Jackson, from what I remember, wasn't a number 9 at Villarreal. He was like a second striker. Yeah, he never played. He didn't play up front, and then you got Rob, and then now talking about Robert Sanchez, he was Brighton's third choice goalkeeper when he got bought. But yeah,
these with Jackson, like this is from outside looking, he'll still come up with like 15 goals, and it's just he just misses a lot. You know, it's crazy.
That many goals because he's just got world class talent around him. And he's just got so many shoot. I bet you if you look at the amount of shots that he takes per game, it's like 3 or 4. Good chances. He just misses them all.
He actually does. I can tell you because, funny enough, I'm looking at it right now. He takes 3.13 chances, shots per game.
There you go. That's a lot.
And he misses basically quite a lot of them. Like of those chances, maybe one of them is like common, golden chance. Whereas if we actually, I don't think people quite understand it. We actually had a clinical, instinctive striker. Boy, oh boy, like and a goalkeeper. It doesn't have to be an elite goalkeeper. It could just be like a Pickford level goalkeeper. Boy, oh boy, will we challenge Liverpool this season? This
and not only that, OTC,
where we are and where we should be.
I'm sorry for is it Josh Ashenpong?
He's
your best defender. That says it all as well. Your backline stinks. It's actually bad. Like I'm comparing it in the sense of trying to be a title challenger.
Oh, it's not good enough.
Josh Ashenpong was your best defender. And it says it all.
Well, and also there's talk of Chelsea want to pull Chalobah back because their backline is so bad.
We should have never got rid of him in the first place. I was you don't know this. I was against us dropping Chalobah from the squad in the first place or getting rid of him. I was dirt against it. To me, our best centre backs when everyone's all fit is Wesley Fofana number 1 and number 2 it was Chalobah. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't know why we'll get rid of Chalobah instead of some of these other players like Disasi and Badia Shiu and some of these
Disaster and Booty Shiu, they are terrible.
Disasi,
Booty Shiu is wild.
And Sanchez, we have, honest to God, if we literally completed the signing of Osimhen and we had a competent goalkeeper, we would have at least picked up a lot more points during this Christmas period, which is historically our most toughest part of the season.
You've not won in the last 4, right?
Huh?
We haven't won in the last 4.
Yeah, 4 games, no wins.
Yeah, we lost to Ipswich.
And Fulham.
To Everton, 0-0. Ironically, it was like a couple of days before Liverpool's game got called off, and those conditions were all over the place. So it is what it is. We drew to we drew to Palace. Who else did we drew to? We drew another game.
Everton.
Yeah, Everton, Palace,
and us. Yeah,
Everton, Palace, and yourselves, and we lost to Ipswich.
We are Palace.
We are Palace.
And Fulham.
And Fulham as well. And Fulham as well. Let's not forget that. Bearing in mind, with a lot of these games.
Before we go into the second half. Yeah, before we go into the second half, Dan, go for a few more comments. There are loads.
Yeah, there are quite a lot. Where did I get to? Big up, Damo. Thanks for tuning in as always. Animal gave Ebbs a 5. Talk about that a bit more in a minute, I'm sure.
or 5 out of 5?
5 out of 10. Cheers, Coach's Corner. Happy New Year to you as well, mate. What do we have? Big up TCD. Thanks for tuning in. Loving the highbrow football content. Anyone's got any more fun? I'm sure Daichi Kamada will appear in the chat later, which we found out was actually James.
Yeah, so he's going to change it to Camardinho, hopefully.
So some questions for OTC. Maresca said Achipong was your best player. Would you agree?
Do you know what? No, I would not agree.
You know who actually impressed me? Moses Caicedo. And I've not been his biggest fan. Not just because he was ex-Brighton, but just generally in football. I don't think he looks aesthetically pleasing as a footballer.
Our best player was Levi Colwill, in my opinion.
I thought he did actually deal with Mateta okay sometimes, to be fair.
Yeah, actually, Achipong is getting that treatment whereby people calling for him. Yeah, bring Achipong in, which I don't know why. He never played a single minute for us in the Premier League. So I don't know why everyone was chanting his name all of a sudden for him to get a start. But anyway, he got a start, and he done a couple of like nice things, and everyone's like, "Wow, Achipong!" Like they're glazing over him. Whereas other players like Levi Colwill, without him, we would have conceded a couple more goals. Let's put it that way. Particularly to Mateta and Eze.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Where was that?
I don't think he was your best player, but I thought Sancho was pretty decent as well.
Sancho, in terms of the attackers, he was our best. But then again, like this is a problem. Palmer is that much of a level above a lot of our players that a bad Palmer or an average Palmer is still better than generally a lot of the other players. But overall, I was probably Sancho was the best attacker.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know
Neto nuisance all game. Such a nuisance. Neto.
He's a good player.
He's probably one of those players that you just start to dislike. Like man was diving, he was causing problems for no reason.
He's a good player, Neto. Neto needs.
But he had Mitchell's number. Striker. My God, Mitchell struggled.
Mitchell actually, you know what? He had some good moments, but yeah, Neto played well. But Neto needs a striker. Neto is one of those players that he cuts in, he looks at, and the first thing he does is that he looks to hit the ball in the part where a striker, a clinical striker or an instinctive striker would be. The problem is that Jackson he's barely ever there. Which basically
you bought him in January last year, didn't you, Neto? And
no, we got him in summer.
Because I remember that when you bought him, I think he had like 14 assists, and that was when him and Cunha were playing up front together. So obviously, if he's got a striker there, he can create chances.
He cleans up alongside Sancho. They both really clean up if they have a decent striker, or an actual number 9. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's fair. But I'll ask one more question, just because there's so many comments, guys. Like we appreciate all of them. Obviously, the stream will be too long if we answered every single one. But I'm actually going to go to Animal's comment first about Eze's chance, because I know that a lot of people think that it was a big chance, and I'm going to segue back quickly to Tim's question. And I know this is specific to OTC is asking you about Chelsea, but I think this is maybe a question that we can all answer, because I feel like Palace have also been very wasteful this season. Like, is it a mindset problem, or is it just bad luck, or is it from the coach? Is it the players? I don't know. What are we thinking? So I don't really know the answer to that, to be honest. I think that's quite a difficult question.
Can you blame the manager for a player missing chances? Because the chances are being made, which means that you should give credit for the chance being made, no? Which would be on the manager.
It depends. Okay, so it depends on a couple of things. How many quality chances you create for that player and where those chances are. Because it's all well and good saying, yeah, that player chance, but that was the only chance in the game, and you were relying on that one chance in order to get a goal or to get a point.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
So,
But when you look at yesterday, you lot had chances.
oh yeah,
yeah, definitely. I think in like a longer term sort of thing, so like over say like I don't know, like 10 games or something like that. I think maybe there is an onus on the on the manager, maybe a little bit, just because like if they are missing chances, like maybe can they G them up a little bit? Can they maybe do something slightly different in training? Perhaps, I don't know. But then, to be honest, that's way beyond my kind of level of knowledge. To be honest,
I think for me, if you're talking about one player specifically, and if we're talking about Eze and that chance that he missed where he put it wide, didn't even hit it on target, what I'll say is think back to Man United. He had the exact same chance and missed it. Think back to Leicester. He had the exact same chance and missed it. Think back to Liverpool, where he was in the exact. Granted, in the Liverpool one, I think he actually learned from that one because the exact same situation that he was in the Liverpool game, he was in that for the Chelsea game. Instead of shooting, he passed. So, granted, we came out with a goal, but did he pass because he didn't have confidence to shoot, or did he know that the goal would have 100% been scored?
Good question. I think he made the right decision
In my opinion, Eze last year, with confidence, he smashes that and buries it.
Yeah.
He's not thinking about passing there. Yes, he made the right decision, but is his confidence so shot that he won't even shoot himself now?
I think for me, with that one that we scored from, I think if Eze took the shot, it would have had to be on his left foot because it was going across his body.
But
So
he
I
took
think
that
in the end,
exact same shot against Liverpool and shot it straight at the keeper on his right foot. He tried to bend it the other way. He tried to do what Devaney did, but flopped. But Devaney could do it. But what I would say is that the other chances where he was literally in the middle of the goal, shooting straight, he's too relaxed, he's too lazy, he has to score.
And just to answer, because I know it was Animal's comment, what do you call it?
where is Animal's comment?
Regarding the first chance, he said that was a harder chance than he thought. Here's where I disagree with you a bit, Animal, just on this point. Is when you actually
at
look
least get it on target.
When you look at the angle where it's showing where the ball has contact with his foot, unfortunately, it hits the back end of it, like more towards his heel. And that's why it drifts wide. If he catches it bang on, center of his foot, he scores. You know? And that's just literally, and it's easy to say from outside and looking in and watching, but that's just keeping your eye on the ball and concentration, you know? At the very least, let Sanchez save it. At least that.
You know what it is with a lot of these missed chances, and this kind of we had this exact same issue during the Potter reign, whereby we'd go a month without scoring a goal, or 2 months without scoring like one goal in a whole like over a 2-month period. For me, if it goes past a large part of the season, I would look at the manager and be like, what are you guys doing in training? Is there actual goals in training? Are you guys just putting the goals in the shed or something? Like, what are you guys doing in training at this point? Ultimately, it comes down to personnel. Yes, it comes down to confidence. But the player should be like instinctive, like with Jackson, from that angle. If you've done that practice 1,000 times in training, you would not use the inside of your foot. Like that don't make no sense. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a if it goes past a set number of months, it's a training issue.
Yeah,
in training, as far as I'm concerned, there's no striking. The striking coach is having a cup of tea or something. He's chilling. So as far as I'm concerned, that's what it is.
Yeah, I think I agree, to be fair, and I think that's like kind of Tim. I think we're all kind of on that kind of level. Cool.
All right, let's do player ratings, so we'll drop the link.
Rich,
the reason why I thought we do player
ratings, by the way.
Oh, it's only me in it.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. All right,
so they're all in order. So Hendo,
no pressure. No pressure.
Dean Henderson. He only had to pick up the ball from his net once because every other shot was off target. But He dealt with crosses from corners very well, I thought. I'll give him a 6.
The throw at the end was crazy.
Yeah,
by the way.
I wanted to give that throw at the end a good shout out because that was quality.
Mitchell.
He struggled, didn't he? You know what's mad? Because Neto can go both ways, left foot or right foot. And I think if Chelsea finished their dinner in the first half, I think Neto would have had about 2-3 assists. But once again, I think the difficulty with these player ratings is because I'm going to be judging them based first half and second half and trying to then do an average. Because to be fair, all round, I think we'll just better second half. The penalty decision.
It was a penalty for me, 100%.
Immediately, I messaged OTC. I said, that's a pen. And then I was like, no, he's got a nick on the ball. So, too sure. I'll give Mitchell a...
I haven't actually seen it back.
I'll give
He
him
wins the
a
ball.
4, 5, 4, 5, 4. 4. I'll give him 4. Max. No, it's Richards, isn't it? Oh my gosh, we do Mark. Mark, I thought was alright actually.
No, Mitchell does get a touch there, so it's not a pen.
Yeah, I thought there was a slight touch. It depends on which angle you look at. One of it, I thought, oh my gosh, he's taking him out.
Maybe it was a reckless tackle.
Mark,
give it a penny because it was a reckless tackle.
I'll give Mark a 6
yes, he
as well.
got a touch of the ball, a whisker of the ball, but to me, it was that much of a reckless tackle that I would consider that a penny.
Yeah, to be fair, the one that team down south got was a bit mad still.
But the one we got is Ipswich, yeah. I'm sorry, but this one was a lot more stone cold than the one we conceded against Ipswich.
Yeah, the Ipswich one was a robbery. A robbery.
Max, do you prefer Rich's rating, or are you happy with Mark's rating that Rich gave rather than James gave yesterday?
Yeah, because all I'm saying is James gave Mark a 5.
For real now, Max, right?
Yeah.
This one's difficult because even the second half, Max made a mistake where Jackson should have scored. He dragged his shot wide. And then he got skinned in the first half. And the thing is, we've got such a high bar for Max.
No, he was a 4 in this game. Come on. He was part responsible for the first goal conceding.
I will give Max a 5.
He was a 4 for me, 100%. We could have scored 2 goals as a result of him. Directly because of him. We should have scored 2 goals.
Richards.
He struggled so bad first half. Improved though in second. I'll give him a 5 as well.
Daniel Munoz.
He's my man of the match. He gets an 8. He gets an 8. He was pretty much our attacking outlet the whole game. He himself could have had 3 assists yesterday. You know, he was really good.
Quickly going on to yes, we missed him badly.
We absolutely did.
Jeff Lerma.
He was just all right. 5.
Yeah.
Wow, really? 5?
Yeah, because I think Decore was better. I'm going to give Decore a 6.
Okay. Ebbs.
5. Otherwise, it could have been really stinky.
Saw.
7. I think it was a great outlet. I'll put JP as a 7 as well. Not because of the goal, but I think his work rate, because he hasn't been getting the goals as late, but what he does as an outlet is brilliant. Like he was tussling with Cole and what do you call it? Chipong, like the whole game, and it was a good battle. So I think he did well.
Onto the bench, someone that actually didn't do badly when they came on. Kamada.
I'll give him a 5. Only because he wasn't on for too long, but I think he did really well.
Yeah,
when he came on.
And Nketiah gets a 10 because he didn't get a yellow card.
Uh, 3. He went
Wow.
on for 2, and yeah. But there was something telling. Did you see his reaction as soon as the full-time whistle went? Have you watched the clips back?
No.
No.
He goes like this. I think he's just annoyed he's not getting minutes.
Damn.
Don't worry, he'll
So,
take support.
so watch it back. You'll see. You could just tell he's visibly peed off. He's not getting minutes. Glasner, for his tactical shift in making Saar drop deeper and Munoz bombing on, for him to be able to tweak it to change the game in our favour, I'm going to give him an 8. Because if things had stayed the same, Chelsea win that 3-4-0. And he identified it and he changed it. And that's one thing I like about Glasner. He's very proactive and stuff. The late substitutions are starting to worry me a little bit, but we're getting the results. So I don't want to be too
Do you
bad.
think, Curveball, do you think the subs are late because he knows that he hasn't actually got the quality on the bench that he needs?
Yeah,
Probably
to be fair, that quality on that bench yesterday was shocking.
It's true, but at the same time, fresh legs tend to be better than none. Not. So it's
Yeah,
kind
but
of
do you want those fresh legs to be slap?
Yeah, fresh.
Those legs are fresh from the run from the bench onto the pitch, and then they're finished.
Do you know what? Against most teams, I agree, but against us, it makes no difference because we have one of the, ironically, because we're the youngest team in the Premier League, we happen to have one of the highest energetic players in the Premier League as well. So, yeah, if we bring subs on against us, it's not really going to make a difference unless our players literally throwing the towel.
And also, you've got, because you've spent so much money, you've got a lot of depth and quality on your bench. And also, with the new 5 subs, it just helps the bigger team as well. You can basically replace half your team with people who aren't any worse.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But with us, if you did all 5 subs for us, we just get the quality of our team just drastically nosedives.
Yeah, which I completely understand that point as well. But
Jason, if you drop the link in the chat, I just want to ask OTC one question whilst we're gonna get people coming in. You spoke earlier about the striker situation.
Links in the
Now
chat.
you've got a player on the bench who maybe he's not a striker, but probably that's why we haven't seen him play much. But Nkunku, like Mark Gui, is it Gui? How do you pronounce it? Because it's not Gui. Gui. Okay.
Yeah, just think about it like GWI, like Gui.
Gui. Okay. He came on ahead of Christopher. Like, do you think Nkunku's never going to play up top, or is it a case where he's only just going to play if Palmer comes off? Like, where does he stand in your squad?
Yeah, this is a big problem as well. Do you know what? This comes down to the planning of the squad and down to the directors. You can't just get like 3 number 10s. João Felix, you get Nkunku, and you get Cole Palmer. One of them's going to be pissed off, ultimately. So Nkunku, and Maresca said it earlier on in the season, he is a number 10. But the problem is our number 10 is Cole Palmer. So what do we do here? We put him up front a couple of games, but he's not a striker. So the drop off between a Jackson and an Nkunku, even though Jackson is not like a naturally gifted striker, is a big drop off because Nkunku doesn't hold up the ball. There's you know what I mean? It's not on the level that we need. Gui, he is a striker, but he's 18 years old, and we bought it for 2 million from Barcelona, or like 5 million from Barcelona. But he's 18 years old. Really, truly, he should be out alone in Leeds or something, or Reading or one of these places. We should not be starting, or he should not be in our squad. He has, ironically, I think he's our top goal scorer because he's scored a lot of goals in the Conference League. So, yes, if we're going to bring somebody on for Jackson, it should be Gui. But Nkunku, you know what? Palmer should come off a lot more for Nkunku. He should come off a lot more. There's been quite a few games whereby, even though Palmer scored, he's got an assist, towards the back end of the game, he's still like his performances are not up to scratch. And it would be good for him to come off for an Nkunku. So, yeah, if Nkunku doesn't get enough game time, I expect him to leave pretty much by the end of the season. Because
before we go to Tim, would this be an option? Yes or no?
No, because under the Maresca system, we have Palmer as the number 10. Under Poch, we had Palmer on the right wing. They're completely different systems. Because I think, it's a different system. Maresca likes his wingers to be touchline wingers, to be kind of dribbling.
Okay, gotcha. To the byline.
Yeah. He don't like. Yeah, I think Somerville played for him. I could be mistaken, but yeah, no, not Somerville. Who's the other guy? The winger from Leicester.
He played Mavididi or Fatawu or
yeah. He likes that kind of winger.
And also Nkunku, he did his best work as like a second striker 10 anyway, so right in the middle. That's why he was getting all his goals and assists. So he was, as OTC said, he's not the guy to hold up the ball. He's the guy to pick out the ball from the midfield and create something. And you can't have two Palmer-esque players in a team. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yes. Tim, I saw you weren't happy with my Lerma rating.
I did not like that. 4 or 5 long balls, and he was getting Munoz. Munoz was our best outlet on especially in that second half. He was fantastic. Him and Sarr were absolutely fantastic. A revelation in the second half. And then Lerma was finding him a lot. I know he can't deliver a short pass, but he was
where he lost the mark.
That's fine, but he was key. He was key to getting players out in space, particularly Munoz getting out in space and causing problems for Chelsea. But I agree. Like, after that first 30 minutes was terrible, should have been down more than one goal. No question. I don't think there's any argument about that whatsoever. But this is becoming a habit, and maybe it's becoming a bad habit for Chelsea, OTC, but it's becoming a good habit for us. At some point, it is not a mistake that your mindset is, well, we could still get something out of this game. Because that's the mindset. Every single game.
To play devil's advocate on that, Tim, though, why do we always need to go behind?
I don't know. I mean, that is clearly something that's frustrating. That's clearly something that's frustrating Glasner.
It's historically a Palace thing, though, to be fair.
I know it is, but it's frustrating Glasner, and it is a historic Palace thing. But somebody asked him, if you saw this in the post-match press conference, so just something that, and I don't know if OTC, if you'll agree with this, but somebody asked him, like, you said against Arsenal that we showed them too much respect. And he piped up and he said, yes, exactly. We showed them way too much respect. And then I'm paraphrasing here, but when we started attacking them, we were starting to get some joy. Now, that would have been riskier. We could have gotten completely cut open if we, were attacking from the outset. But the difference in the second half is we were attacking. We were higher up the pitch. We were doing a lot more challenging for balls in the midfield. And I do think this is why I don't like the Ebbs rating that you gave. Not because he does. We know that he slows down the play. But as soon as Glasner changes the system, or he didn't change the system, he makes the tweak. And Sarr is playing more with his back to goal. He's receiving the ball, and he's turning players. And I know you like, Moises Caicedo is a perfectly good player. Enzo Fernandez, I think, is a better player. He turned both of them. And he made Caicedo visibly frustrated in that second half, which for me personally was great to see, because I don't like ex-Brighton players, but that's half
of Chelsea, no?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Inland seaweed. That is sorry. That's not nice. But
Brighton either, man. But yeah. I don't know. Forget them scums.
but you know what I mean. Like he was terrific, and as soon as we start playing through Sar, then Ebb starts making runs into space, and I think I want to give the manager a lot of credit for. I think it makes a difference when you take the burden of moving the ball up the pitch off of Ebbs' shoulders. When it's not just up to him to carry the ball up the pitch, and instead you can get it into JP, or in this case, you can get it into Sar, and he can turn and he can look for Ebbs, and that's what gets the goal. Munoz takes it off, dispossesses Palmer, gets it quickly up to Sar. Sar turns quick right into Ebbs.
The weight of pass, was incredible. By the way,
it was awesome. It was brilliant.
Sar's pass in the last few games has been amazing. You see the Travella pass that he did to Ebbs in the last game.
Yeah,
like there was no need for that, but it was amazing.
I mean, he's very much on form, and I thought that was I don't think that pass into JP was lack of confidence. I think that's instinctive. His head's up. He sees it. He puts it right on him, and that was a wonderfully worked goal. Never should have got to that point. Chelsea could have killed the game, but the fact that it gets to that point, I think we were very good value for the point. And Sar was the manager putting him in that position and knowing that he can play back to goal and cause problems for the midfield that was killing us in the first 30 minutes, I thought was really, really good.
Yeah. I'm going to mention something about Palmer in a minute, OCC, but let me come to Pat. Pat, you know you can show your face now. We all know what you look like. First things first, how was it meeting your idol?
It was good. I love
Megatron.
You sound like a robot, Pat.
We got a transform.
We got another Dalek.
Exterminate.
It's 2025, the year of the Dalek. Actually, Pat, it sounds mad, you know. Hold on, I'm going to set you a movie.
Yeah,
try again, Pat. Try again.
He has to go, blood.
He's got a virus in his system.
He has to go, blood.
Yeah, that sounded mad. OTC, and this is why I asked whether or not Palmer should be playing on the right side, because I've noticed now that he plays in the 10, he's actually having the tendency has the tendency to drop into like the 6 and the 8 positions to take play. Do you think that's a problem? Because that's effectively where he lost the ball yesterday for us to score.
Yes. In terms of, there's pros and cons. He plays in the right wing. He won't be in that position whereby he'll be dropping in deeper and losing the ball and put us in kind of detrimental positions. That is a huge benefit. But on the other side, he creates with our team. We've got Neto on one side and we've got Jaden on the other side, and he could create quality chances for all of them and Jackson on top of that. So when he's in the center, and you see the chance that Jackson had through on goal where he was, running with Lacroix and he skinned Lacroix, that was made by a Palmer pass from the center. So I actually think, in terms of you weigh it all up, I would say Palmer in the number 10 provides a lot more than what Palmer would do on the right hand side in this current system. Now, if we had a rubbish right winger, then I'll be like, yeah, you go right wing. If we had Kuku in number 10, everyone's all sweet. And that could be an option in some games whereby it's like a low block. We need some, it's a proper low block, or it's a game that needs a lot of creativity. You can play Palmer on the right hand side and then play Nkunku through the lines, and then someone could do a line breaking pass and then Nkunku could go on the end of it, or Nkunku could run through and square it to Jackson. That could be another option. Maresca is in his first half a season with us, so there's a lot of experimenting. But I like this setup. We are I like the setup, but we are a tad little bit predictable. So if he is to switch it up, I would have no concerns about it.
Can I ask a question about? Can I ask a question about this of UOTC? Just super quickly, why not put? I mean, he only made 2 subs yesterday, right? Am I wrong about that? Maresca kept a lot of talent on the bench. Didn't see Felix. Didn't. I mean, there were two Chelsea subs. Is that right?
Yeah, it sounds about right. We brought on. Who did we bring on? Let me just check again.
I mean, with that kind of depth, why isn't Maresca mixing it up more?
The depth is like our biggest strength and our biggest weakness. Because we've got that much quality on the bench and on the starting 11, it's difficult for managers to make a clear decision on what is best for our team. So we brought off Jaden and we brought on Noddy in the 86th minute, right? I didn't see the value in that, to be honest with you. Last 10 minutes, I don't see what's the point. We got off Jackson and we brought Mark through. Unless Jackson's knackered, I don't see what the point is. Ultimately, there's nothing we could have done yesterday. Let's put it that way. There's nothing we could have done off the bench. I cannot see who was off bench yesterday. Let me check. We had João Felix. I don't think he would have done anything. The Sassy's crap. Mark Gui's 18. Reece James got 1 leg. Jorgensen's the goalkeeper. Noni is all over the place and he's lower confidence. I don't know what he's been doing in training, but he's been dropped from the squad because of bad attitude. And Kunku is lower confidence and poorer form. Ronaldo Vega's a left back and Tosin is another centre back. So we don't have and what we needed is a striker. This is the one game we needed a natural striker. And the only striker that we got, really, the only natural striker we have in this squad is Mark Gui. The problem is that Mark Gui is 18. So we're done for. If Jackson misses, we're done for. And we might get a couple of these type of games toward the back end of the season. And I want us to go in and get a natural striker. Because every other part of the field, yes, people could. Who else could have scored what? Somebody from outside the box, but Henderson's good at saving shots from outside the box. So there was one way to score, and that was from the penalty spot in the box. But do you know what I mean? We can't flop all of our chances and expect us to make substitutions in the last 30 minutes and have those exact same quality chances. We have to finish off what's on our plate.
That's fair. That's fair. Just quick questions for you. Do you think you'll still finish top 4?
I predicted at the start of the season we'll finish top 4. I still believe we'll finish top 4. There's a lot of unknowns. Like, Marissa's not managing the Premier League. This is his first season, so I don't know what I'm going to get in the last half of the season. So it's kind of like enjoy the movie whilst we're here, basically. But if we do not get top 4, yeah, there's heads got to be rolling. Let's put it that way. It's not going to be good enough.
Who's the next Palace player to be Chelsea to be loaned or sold to Palace?
Oh, listen, who do you need? We got quite a few. So we got this guy, right, called the Sassy.
No.
We got
Name your price for yeah, there you go. Yes. Sinbin. Well done.
We're having a serious conversation here. We're not doing it.
Yes. Well done. I want to know the price for Trevor Chalobah. That's what I want to know.
No, absolutely. Pat, let's just make sure you're okay again. Let's see what you're saying.
Testing.
No.
Have you got something?
Go, blood.
You got something plugged in, Pat? Maybe try to see if that's plugged in properly.
Okay.
Like earphones or microphones.
Yeah. OTC, would you take Schlapp for Chalobah? Straight swap.
No. But what we can give you, because Noddy's out of favour with the coach.
What? Yes,
we give you everybody weekly.
That's the point.
We give you Nonny, and you know what? We'll give you Nonny, and you guys give us back Mark in defence.
Huh?
And we better throw in Kunku. He's not going to play.
Nah.
might be a poll. That might be a Transfer Weekly poll.
What do you mean?
Madueke for Gay. That's an interesting one because I do
That
think.
would be mad. It'd have to be Madueke and Cash,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
but it'd probably be Madueke and 25 mil or something like that. It'll have to be.
But I mean, isn't that? Would he want to come back to Palace? I think he left Palace with a bit of bitterness.
He wasn't happy.
Well, wait.
Madueke.
No, Spurs bought him.
No, Madueke went to. I thought he went to PSV.
He
Did
was-
he not go straight after
He
us?
was our academy player, and then Spurs
Right.
bought him, and then
Oh,
he went to
Spurs
PSV.
first. Oh, right.
So I don't think there's any ill will there at all. Like I feel
don't
like
think so?
he went
Okay.
to our academy. He was doing well.
I'm
Spurs
sure he
bought
came
him.
out and said that like he wasn't happy the fact that he left Palace.
That's what I thought. I thought that he was
have a good look.
when he plays against us, he's got a little chip on his shoulder.
Oh, we got another guy, a couple guys. Dewsbury Hall. We got Cardi Chukwuemeka. We got quite a few players. If you guys
To
want
be
to-
fair,
How's both
Chukwuemeka.
Ratsaki and Elise's brothers doing?
I'm not too sure, but I could look into it and come back to you on that one.
Please do.
Yeah,
It would be very
I think Carney would be probably the only one that I'd be looking at for Palace.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it would have to be like a 10, really, wouldn't it? I think.
But with our rumours of today that we're going back in for Joe Bellingham, I'd rather him than Carney.
But I think Job would play in the midfield.
No, he'd play in a 10. He would be an Eze replacement.
Would he? He was
I
playing
think he'd be a
the
bit- I
deep
think he'd be
lying
more like an
6
8.
for Sunderland today, wasn't he?
He plays.
Yeah, but he's normally an 8 or a 10.
Okay. Interesting.
Just very quickly on that, actually.
And we got
There's
quite
been a lot of rumours about a centre midfielder. Now, I thought we had 4. It might be on their way out, whether
Yeah.
it's January or the summer, because we've been linked with a centre midfielder quite a bit.
I think
So-
Wharton's injury is a lot worse than we think it is.
That is my fear too.
I said it. I think I said it to Dan the other day, and I said I really, really, really hope that by playing Wharton through his injury as long as we did, hasn't just Nathan Fergusoned him.
I hope not either. Yeah.
yeah, with that kind of injury.
Yeah, damn, Pat, we have to mute you, man. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry,
you know-
Pat.
Yeah, we can give you
Sorry, Pat.
who's on loan at Southampton. Give you Southampton. Where is Southampton now currently? Yeah, we'll give you Leslie Ugochukwu. You guys. want. Yeah. He's better. It's better for you guys than Southampton. Let's put it that way. So, yeah. Or is it Ipswich? Yeah, he plays for Southampton. So.
Or I'm going to offer an alternative, another angle for the potential midfielder coming in. I wonder if they're worried about Adam Wharton going to City, and I also wonder if because Jefferson Lerma and Hughes are getting close to that 30-year-old rolling deal thing. So Lerma's on about 100k a week. Are they going to want to keep him here to be on the bench for 100k a week on a rolling deal? I don't know if they will, personally. But
Is Lerma really on that much?
it might not be 100, but it's certainly he's certainly one of our
Let me have
higher
a look.
ones.
I don't think it's that much.
I don't think it's that much either. I
think
thought it
it's
was
about
closer
90.
to. I thought it was
also
closer to
David Ozil.
75k a week.
David
yeah.
Ozil to return as well.
Yeah, he's got to get healthy first. but
Yeah, Jeff Lerma is on 70.
There, yeah. That seems more like it.
Right, Pat. Let's see how you get on.
Hello.
No.
Now,
Man,
Nah.
Daleks
Sorry,
in the
Pat.
system.
Star Trek. Sorry, Colin. That's such a bad joke, but that did make me laugh.
Right. No, on the road, though, like how was Pat's reaction to seeing JC yesterday? Because I'm only asking this because there's only one other person on this panel who will be extremely excited to see JC. So I just want to know, like, if Tim's got competition.
I already told you, Rich. I got 3 adult kids. I don't need a 4th. But I will caveat that and say I will go with JC to a food review so I could see whatever this magical McDonald's is in the UK, because it feels absolutely crazy, whatever that McDonald's menu is. It's like, I don't even know how they call it McDonald's. This is why the food reviews are amazing.
I'm only getting cheeseburgers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never gone there like, oh, this is a chicken select. I've never done that. This is a McRib. I've never done that. There's only been a normal
I've heard of a
cheeseburger.
McRib. I've heard of a McRib. That's a real thing.
Tim, you need to make your way out here to Sellers Park. You have to.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's probably still going to be a couple of years, but I'm definitely it's top of the list. But yeah, I just have things that have to get done. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, I don't know if there's anything more. We covered everything. Pretty much, haven't we?
Wait, do you have a game this week?
No, it's FA Cup. So next one's a midweek. The only things I wanted to end with was that in the last 5 games, Crystal Palace are currently ranked 6th in the form table. So bearing in mind that's Arsenal and Chelsea played in those 5 games.
What should be a Palace thing to do? The next 5 games are actually favourable.
Yeah, and that's what I've also got up. I know we've got Stockport, we've got Leicester, West Ham, Brentford away, as in away for them. So yeah,
Brentford at home.
No, I mean as in away for Brentford. Their away form is terrible.
Why would you say that? We're Palace.
Until literally yesterday.
At home for Leicester. At home for West Ham. Away for Brentford.
Okay, yeah. I said that in a dumb way. Okay.
Yeah, we know.
And then Everton. United, Everton, and then we got Fulham again. So,
like I said, misinformation, man down.
Can I give you some trivia before you end this? Some Chelsea related trivia. Last time, take this. We'll go around the horn super quick. Last time, Palace was undefeated in a first. I'll give you a hint. First division, not just Premier League. First division. Last time,
Palace was at 1968.
No.
Dan, you know the answer because you tweeted it.
I thought it was 82, 83, but that wasn't Division 1.
No, it's 91, 92, just over 32, almost 33 years ago, February 8th, 1992. So there's a 0-0 at home, and then there's a 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. Can you name the Palace goal scorer? I bet your chairman can.
What year is this? 91, did you say?
92.
I
92.
I must be still misinformation, man, then.
Well, I was 5.
I was -9.
Oh, I am misinformation, man.
Ian Wright,
It's not Ian Wright. It's not Ian Wright. You'll never get this one. I'll just give it to you. It's David White. David White is the goal scorer for Palace that day. The Chelsea goal scorer. Do you want to guess it, OTC?
91.
92, February 92.
The guy that went on Love Island.
I was going to say Chris Sutton, but then he was at Blackburn, wasn't he?
It could be anyone.
I mean, he's a pundit. He's a TalkSport pundit now.
Cole.
Jason Cundy.
No, Cascarino.
Tony Cascarino. Why did I say Cundy? He came afterwards. But yeah, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But that's like 40 years ago.
Chairman was there.
Yeah, of course he was.
Just under 33 years ago. Long time.
All right, guys. I guess it's the build up to next week, Ken's FA Cup game. Are we doing a regular scheduled week for that?
We're not doing Tactical for Stockport. We'll do Tactical for Leicester on the Tuesday.
Yeah. No, do it, man. That'll be good. Stockport.
Gotcha. We will be on the hunt for a Stockport fan, by the way. I will be sending tweets out.
I mean, I'll give you a rundown of Stockport. They do play 3 at the back. and they do like to hit it long. So just have it, knock it onto the second striker, and
Fair.
win this game,
what
innit?
Hang on, I did the championship. I did the League
League
2.
One.
League One.
Damn.
But yeah, I guess in the preview we can discuss whether or not Glasner will make changes in that game. Because players like Nketiah and Kamada do need minutes. And will we have a new signing then?
Hot
don't
take, I think
Right.
Ed plays just to get confidence.
Hot take.
Yeah.
I don't think we make a sign in this window.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Hot
You know,
take.
sin bin Dan for that one. Sin
Hot
bin
take.
him.
Hot take.
It's pessimistic, but
Yeah, there you go.
Hot take. We're not going to sign a
Don't
left back.
underestimate Steve Parish.
Hey, you behave as well. You
Nah,
can go as well. Stop it. I was very optimistic last week that we'll get some business done.
Come on.
We're going to sign a goalkeeper. Up the Palace.
Well, yeah.
Eagle.